So today we will move forwards and we will try to understand the next sutra of the first chapter. So the sixth sutra. So this sutra basically explains what are these vrittis, what are these mental modifications. तो ये सूत्र आपको ये बताएगा कि आपकी चित्त की वृत्तियाँ कौन कौन सी हैं. So we started with अथ योगानुशासनम, then we understood what is योग, that is yogas chitta vritti nirodha, then what is swarupa, tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Then we understood when we are not in the state of chitta vritti nirodha, then vritti sarupa mitratra. Then next, vrittis are clished, which are painful and which are not going to help you in the path of yogic sadhana, and aclished, which are going to help you. Now, we will see what are these vrittis. So, Maharishi Patanjali says, Praman, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smritayah. So, Praman is basically a true knowledge. Pramanam, Pratyaksham Kim Pramanam. It is always said कि प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण की आवश्यकता नहीं है. So, Praman is the true knowledge. It can be clished, it can be painful, it can be aclished also. Viparya is wrong knowledge or false knowledge. Viparya. Vikalp is basically imaginations where you just keep on imagining the things. Nidra is sleep. And Smriti means the recollection of all the things whatever has happened in your life. Recollecting everything, that comes as a vritti. So, there are 5 types of vrittis. Knowledge which is based on true and acceptable data, right knowledge, false knowledge, imagination or the knowledge which is based on fancy or imagination, then dreamless sleep, and the memory. So let us understand this whole thing in detail now. Pramana and the Viparya, that is your right knowledge and wrong knowledge, comprise all those images, all the images which are formed by some kind of direct contact through the sense organs with the outer world of the objects. So, without having direct contact with the sense organs, with the outer knowledge, you cannot have right knowledge and wrong knowledge, because with the help of your sense organs only, you are able basically to differentiate what is right and what is wrong. So, right and wrong knowledge is totally based on the sensory understanding and perception, what you understand the nature of the outer world. Now, Vikalp, that is imagination, and Smriti comprises all those images or modifications of the mind which are produced without any kind of direct contact with the outer world. So, imagination for imagination, if you want to imagine anything, you don't have to be in contact with the outer world. Your sensory organs need not have any contact with the outer world. Or Smriti also is a recollection basically, whatever has happened already. So, you don't need that connection with the outer world, with the sensory organs. So, Vikalp is basically the imagination, and which is produced without any direct contact with the outer world. Now, in the case of Smriti, that is your memory, these sensuous perceptions are reproduced in the mind in the form and in order which they are obtained through the sense organs previously. So, what is Smriti? Whatever sensory organs have seen or heard or experienced in the past, in the same order, it is stored in the chitta, and that becomes your Smriti. Exactly in the same order, in the same form, in the same way, whatever you have seen or whatever you have heard, it becomes your vritti. which is Smriti, and it can be a strong obstacle in the path of self-realization. So in the case of Vikalpa now, or imagination, they are reproduced in any form and order from the sensuous material present in the mind. They were obtained through the sense organs previously. Now, Vikalp or imagination is something where you can say your Smriti also plays a major role, because you have seen certain things, and under the influence of this different gunas and different sensory organs, what happens here? You start thinking ki this thing will be like this thing will be like this. So you have little information of that object which you have experienced previously with the help of your sensory organs, but now your mind is imagining on that. For example, you are talking to a person today, and after 1 month or 2 months you haven't seen that person in those 1 month or 2 months, and you want to meet that person, you want to discuss that with that person. But before that you start imagining that person will be like this, he will listen to me, he will not listen to me, thinking all type of thoughts. So that is your Vikalp, where your mind is independently thinking over the thoughts, but it is definitely based on the previous experiences. In the case of Vikalpa or imagination, they are reproduced in any form and order from the sensual material present in the mind. So it can be in any form. Now Vrittis are called Panchitaya. In the previous shloka also we have seen Vrittis are 5 folds: Praman, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra and Smriti. It may be asked why only the modifications of lower concrete mind have been taken into the account in this classification of Chitta Vrittis. So it is always people think why this lower concrete mind, the modifications of lower mind is taken as the Chitta Vrittis, not the higher part. So Chitta comprises of all the levels of mind. Chitta comprises of all the different bhumis, the lowest of which is called the lower manas, functioning through the manomaya kosha. So it has got the higher side which works with the intellectual sheath also, vijnanamaya kosha, but the lowest of this, where you say lower mind, it basically functions with the manomaya kosha and dealing with the concrete mental images with the names and forms. So manomaya kosha, basically it is responsible for all the storage or all the images and different activities of the lower mind which it receives from the sensory organs basically. So these 5-fold fluctuations or modifications of consciousness or chitta are based on the real perception. So the modifications of this lower mind are totally based on the real perception, what your eyes have seen, or the correct knowledge based on the fact and proof. Anuman and Agam, testimony. Unreal or perverse perception, which is not real, which may be wrong. So it is unreal. Illusion or imagination. Things which may not be there, which may not be present, things which may not be existing also, but your chitta, because of its accumulation of the past previous things, your mind starts thinking things which are not at all there. Then knowledge, which is based on the sleep and the memory. So consciousness have got 5 qualities of intelligence. We know very well, we have already seen this 5 qualities. So we know very well what are the 5 different qualities of your consciousness or your chitta. The first is Moodhavastha. Moodhavastha is a state where you are ignorant of everything, you are mood, totally a dull donkey's mind. Kshiptavastha is a distracted mind. This is monkey's mind. You cannot concentrate or fix your concentration at any one point. You keep on jumping on multiple things at a time, and you try to do many things at a time, and you don't get a proper success also, because your energies are not focused. Then vikshiptavastha, where you are agitated, scattered. You sit for some time, then again you get agitated, and then you go to some other thing. You keep on hopping on different activities. So that is a vikshiptavastha. Then comes the ekagravastha, where you are focused over the sadhana. So ekagravastha, and then nirodhavastha, where all the chitta vrittis are in a controlled state. So these are the different qualities of the same chitta. So this is about your 5 chitta vrittis. So now, next what we will say after this vikalp is, after vikalp what comes? Nidra. So we have to understand what is this nidra. So we know very well what is nidra. Nidra is a sleep. We will go in detail about what exactly is this nidra, but here we have to understand nidra is basically a sleep. But it is told here that this nidra is a dreamless sleep. So if it is a dreamless sleep, why it is called an obstacle in the path of self-realization? So we have to understand even that also. If it is a dreamless sleep, why it is like this? So we will go in detail what happens, why it is a vritti, but it is a dreamless sleep. There is no dreams in that. What overpowers your consciousness and why you don't get dreams is very important here to understand. And after this comes is your smriti. So whatever activities it has got, whatever activities your indriyas have experienced, basically anything, starting from getting the right knowledge or wrong knowledge or imagination or your nidra, everything whatever is happening, it is with the help of what? It is with the help of your indriyas, your sensory organs, your manas. So everything is getting stored now. It is getting stored in your chitta. So the biggest, what I personally feel, the biggest obstacle today, what a yogi feels or what a yogi experiences, this smriti only, or the memory. Because what happens when you start doing practice of abhyas and vairagya, where you are practicing abhyas, doing sadhana, you are trying to meditate, what disturbs you most? It is not your right knowledge what you have gained, it is not your wrong knowledge what you have gained, it is not your imagination which disturbs you or your sleep which disturbs you, it is the memory which you have accumulated during all this process which is there in this, it disturbs you. So praman, viparya, vikalp and nidra, whatever इन सबकी जो अनुभूति है, इनकी जो स्मृतियां हैं, that whole thing gets accumulated. So memory of all the things, all the previous vrittis what we have experienced with your sensory organs are accumulated in the chitta, and that becomes a smriti or the memory, and it becomes a biggest trouble for your meditation. And because of that, again you will wander in the different stages or different states of your chitta vrittis, mainly your chitta bhumis, because these memories will make you totally agitated also. These memories will make you imagine the things also. These memories will be positive and negative, both the sides, klisht and aklisht, both types of things will be there, and this will make you to go to vikalp or wrong knowledge. So it is very important that unless and until we completely have a control over this chitta vrittis, all the 5 chitta vrittis, we will not be able to move forwards, or the main focus should be on Ekagravastha or more. So not even Ekagravastha, the aim has to be towards the Nirodhavastha. So now we have understood what is Klisht, what is Aklisht. Klisht are the Vrittis which gives you kleshas, which gives you pain, and they will not allow you to reach towards your final destination of God realization. Aklisht are non-painful, which will be helpful for you. So this Vrittis can be painful, it cannot be painful, both the ways they work. Memories can be painful, non-painful. Pratyaksha, Pramana, the Praman what you say, right knowledge can be painful also and non-painful also. So now we have understood what are these 5 Vrittis, and now after understanding what are these 5 Vrittis, now we will discuss each Vritti in detail one by one now.